Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here with an Amberlynn Reed reaction, obviously. This is Vlogmas Day 8, I believe. Amber put up a 7-minute and 38-second video. She's sitting on the couch. She looks like she's crying. She's looking hefty as ever. And it says, I'm done. So we're about to get reprimanded, y'all. Buckle in. Let's get into it.
Hello. Welcome to a new Vlogmas. So I'm finally wearing my Capricorn necklace. I love it so much.
Take the fucking choker off.
So if you guys don't know anything about me, I do prefer a shorter necklace. So I always wear it.
Babe, you don't prefer a shorter necklace. You just got a big ass neck. So it's gonna be short on you no matter what. So you like make it a bit shorter just to be like, no, you guys, like, I want it this way. Girl, you're acting like we don't know you're 550 pounds, my dude. Jesus Christ.
The shortest it can go. Because I just don't like a long necklace. I don't really know, like, what it is. I just think necklaces look better, like, on me when they're closer to the neck. So for today's perfume,
I think it's because you don't really have a neck. So you do that to kind of like distinguish that you're like, hey y'all, I have a necklace on, like, see, this is my neck. But it's like, because it's not, yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I'm going to be wearing some of this Marc Jacobs perfume in Perfect. It's just a little sampler. Oh my God.
Don't rub perfumes. It ruins the chemical composition. Just dab it.
So good. I don't think I'm going to wear any earrings. So I do want to talk to you guys about something. And I know people are going to get very upset with this decision. I am fully aware of that, but I think I need to do what is best for my mental health. And I'm doing that in several different areas of my life right now. Okay. Even if it is hard. And I think ultimately, sometimes there is like just this one moment where it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, or it's like the one last drop of water that overfilled the cup. And sometimes it's not even warranted, but it's just like that one thing that's like, you know what, I've just like had enough. So for me, it's two instances. And yes, this is about my cat, Rarity. First one is people comparing it to a cat that my uncle had who lived across the street from me when I was 4 years old. That was an outside cat that went missing. When people compare that, like literally I was 4, wasn't even my cat. When people compare that to Rarity, it invalidates the pain that I'm going through with Rarity.
How does it invalidate it?
It kind of takes away everything that I've shared about this situation. This whole thing has been absolutely hurtful.
Yeah, can you see my side eye?
I have lost a fur baby that I considered, you know, my daughter. Like, I can't have real children.
You considered Rarity your daughter, but you didn't take her to the vet. You didn't do anything to make sure that she was, like, identifiable. Like, you didn't take care of your animals, bruh. Like, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be a parent. Like, it's good that you cannot be a parent, because if the way you treat your animals is any resemblance of how you would take care of a child, your kids would be fucked, my dude. Like, you barely could go and help your child out when they got lost. Bruh. You're what? Like,
and that was taken from me when I was diagnosed with cancer. My fur babies are like my kids, and I love them.
Look, Dimitri's like my son too, okay? But I take my son to the doctors. I make sure he's up to date on his vaccines. I make sure that he's healthy and has the proper precautions in case anything happened to him. You don't, Amber. So don't come around and say, oh, these are like my kids. Like, no, they're objects to you. You don't put any actual care into them. Like, do you think that you could just not go and take your kids to yearly checkups? Do you not think that your kids would have to get updated vaccines every year? Like, My dude, what are you talking about right now?
Have I been perfect? No, I was never taken care of as a kid. I was never taught normal things. So when I started raising 3 fur babies of my own, that was a big change for me. I have never and would never.
That's such a load of shit, because I distinctly remember, because of the Angles retro reacts, especially during the Crystal era, she constantly, and in the Destiny era, she constantly would say, oh, and I've always been taken care of. Like, I don't know how to do basic things because, like, someone's always done it for me. Like, in foster care, like, you're taken care of really well, which, like, the foster care system in the US, trash, okay? But in the sense that, like, she didn't have to worry about getting a job. She didn't have to worry about, like, finding, like, doing anything for herself, you know? Like, she went from a system that, like, made sure she had a roof over her head, albeit not great ones, I'm sure, to moving in with a girlfriend and having her mother and her take care of her, then moving in with Crystal and having her family take care of her, then moving in with Destiny and having Destiny take care of her, then moving in with Beck and having Beck take care of her. So, like, this idea that she was never taken care of is, like, it's a sympathy grab once again. It's an excuse for your negligent behavior for years, my dude, towards your animals and honestly towards yourself. It is not up to anyone else. Like, it can be an understanding as to why you might be a certain way. But Amber Lynn, in like 10 days, you're about to be 34 years old, okay? You are a 34-year-old woman. The things that happened to you in your childhood are no longer valid excuses, okay? You have had years and years and years to learn this shit, to figure this shit out. It is not up to anyone else to come to you and teach you things. Is it sad that you weren't given the proper treatment as a child? Yes. I also went through my own shit. I have my own background story, and I could sit here just like Amber Lynn and say, well, I didn't have food when I was a kid. I was abandoned. I was neglected. I was all of this and that. So I don't know how to take care of myself. But that's like, it's not an excuse. Like, it's an excuse when you're a kid. It's an excuse when you're a teenager. But my dear, you have been making your own income and a high amount at that, and you are a grown woman. So it is up to you to make those changes. It is up to you to learn things. It is up to you to put in the effort. Like, it's the same thing with when I very clearly knows very little in the sense of any common, like, information. And she goes, oh, well, I wasn't taught as a kid. It's not up to, yeah. If you're 7 years old and you don't know where something is because you weren't taught it, that's an excuse. But at 34 years old, if you still don't know something, if you still don't know how to take care of yourself, that's on you. That is on you. You don't get to be a victim for the rest of your life. Like, I hate that excuse. I hate this victim mentality. Most people have been dealt shitty ass cards. Okay? But people pull themselves up and they fight to learn and to be better for themselves because they give a fuck about themselves. And Amber, you don't. For you, you're too lazy to put in any effort, and you'd rather sit there and be a victim and blame everyone else and have excuses for everything instead of just fucking doing the shit. And going to therapy and getting treatment for the fucking trauma that you went through. Because I don't doubt she went through trauma. But I also went through trauma, and I don't sit and go, well, I went through trauma, so I can't do anything. No, I went and I got help for it. I've been getting help for it for a long time. I make sure to learn more things about myself. I make sure to work on myself, to be conscious of myself, to learn things, to be better. Amber, you can't just sit on the couch for the rest of your life and say, well, I was in foster care. Yeah, a lot of people were. A lot of people were in orphanages. A lot of people were abandoned by their parents. You, my dear, are not a special case, unfortunately. And those people aren't sitting there at 550 pounds on their couch complaining that they can't do shit because of that. People use it as motivation. I used my stuff. I was adopted from an orphanage. I use that as motivation. It's what kept me going, what made me want to be better, what made me want to learn, what made me want to work hard. Like, come on, Amber. Like, come on.
Do anything to hurt them or to make their existence harder. I have tried everything I can to love them and care for them because they are ultimately
but you haven't.
my world.
That is the problem, Amber. You haven't. You have not. You have neglected those pets. I don't doubt that you love them. I don't doubt that you have a strong feelings for them, but you have not done anything to help those animals out. And a big thing that would have helped those animals out is you losing fucking weight, dude, so that you didn't have to rely on your girlfriends to take care of your animals. We know from Destiny, we know from Beck, we saw it with Feline, you do not take care of those animals. The primary caretakers of your animals every time are your girlfriends. And they are not your girlfriend's responsibility. And you put yourself in that position.
I love them so fucking much. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, I think that's why this bothers me so much, is because they're like one part of me that has been constant. They're my family. They're like truly my family. And they've been my constant for like 8 years.
And you failed to get your family chipped. You failed to put a collar on your family member. If you really cared about them being lost, them whatever, you would take every precaution, every step. You would be making sure that your animal is okay. It takes me like 10 minutes to get out the door because I make sure, and I have to fight with Dimitri before to make sure he doesn't get out. Amber, like, just be real for a second. You act like you're the only one with pets, and like people don't know what it takes to own a pet or what it takes to have a child. Come on, girl.
Years now, like 8 to 9 years. I look at them as if like they're parts of my heart. That it's just like up and walking around. They're truly everything to me. So like people compare
you having to talk like this about your animals is a big red fucking flag to me. You shouldn't have to like put all this fluff around it for people to see how much you care about your animals. It should just be obvious. But you have to sit there and be like, oh no, they're walking parts of my heart. No, bitch. You're compensating because you don't actually put any effort into them. They're just there.
My uncle's cat, that was an outside cat from when I was 4 years old, to this situation is just like a lot for me. And then the whole voicemail thing.
People were just showing a trend. I don't know, was she 4 years old? I thought she was like 7 at that point. But it was just, it's another example that it's a, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. It's a pattern, Amber. It's not like this was the one time, you've just been such a good pet parent, and then the one time, and it's like, people would be sympathetic to that. But it is a combination of neglect. And we're finding out, even before you were on YouTube, a combination of neglect. Just watching you in the Crystal era, you neglected the shit out of those cats and that dog monkey that they got for you, by the way. Like, it's just showing a pattern.
It's like, I want to show you guys that the deceased cat that the Humane Society has is not Rarity. I know there are a lot of people who genuinely care and they're like, oh my god, is that Rarity? Because a lot of you also love her too. So it's like, for those people, I wanted to put your guys' mind and heart to rest. And I didn't feel comfortable like sharing the girl's voice. So that's why I took a screenshot of the voicemail. But it's like, people are like, oh, that was probably Tommy who actually sent that voicemail.
Who knows?
Amberlynn probably sent it to herself.
Here's the thing. I don't know what is true, Amber. But the point that people are trying to make is that you have cultivated a audience that has zero trust in you because of the quite literal decade of you lying to us at every fucking step. From the dumbest piece of shit to the biggest thing, you have lied your entire channel. So something like this, which could be true, people are not going to believe anymore. It's quite literally, Amberlynn, the story of the boy who cried wolf, okay? You are the boy that has continued for 10 years falsely cried wolf, and now something could be true, and people are just not going to believe it, and they're not going to give a shit about it because you've done this to yourself. And you can't expect to shit on people, to lie to people at every turn, and they'll be like, no, but this time I'm being serious. No, it's not going to happen.
So you know what?
I'm gonna...
Just one last time, just literally one last time, to prove that I'm not lying, here's the voicemail.
Hi, this is the Ash Fashion Meat Society. I'm just calling just to follow up on Rarity. I know you guys just submitted a lost cat report, and I just wanted to just confirm that this is not the same cat that did come in. I know some people, the comments on Facebook were pretty rough. I did hide them, but I would really highly suggest not.
Okay, cool.
It was not a very pretty sight, but I can tell you for sure that the cat that we have has a big white blaze up its face. And then I was looking at the socks, and they weren't matching either. This one seems to have a little bit more white. But again, if you want to call and ask questions, feel free to do so. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I did edit out her name because I don't think the transcript is correct when it comes to her name. So that's why I didn't, block it out or anything. But I did edit it out when she said her name because I do not want to reveal that. And I also am not showing the number or anything like that because I do consider that some form of doxing, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I always want to think that there's more to the story and that I'm lying and that this or that, and it's just
because that's what you've proven, Amber.
What I'm deciding to do for my mental health is I'm no longer going to be talking about Rarity at all. But I can promise those who love her that if she is found, I will tell you.
No, Amber's like, you know what? I'm tired of being called out on this shit. We're going to pretend like Rarity doesn't exist anymore. So now I don't have to pretend to come on here and care. I don't have to pretend to act like I'm going and looking for her and that I'm doing things to find her. I can just move on and do exactly what I've been doing, which is nothing. That's really what this is, Amber. Be real with yourself. That's what this is. You don't want to have to sit here and pretend like you give a shit, like you're getting up off that couch and doing anything to find her. And again, to be honest, I don't think Rarity is with us anymore. And that's on you, Amber.
I'm done talking about her because I just want her back. And to have to, every day defend myself is just exhausting. I'm done defending myself. I feel defeated and I feel exhausted, and it's not good for my mental health.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It has been depressing because I have been depressed. I'm literally going through a lot right now. Rarity is at the forefront of my mind, but, there are other things in my life. I don't want to, say anything personal, but things with, my dad, my brother. And yes, my foster mom passed away, and that's hard.
She keeps... Well, I thought you had multiple foster parents. Okay. But it's like this sympathy grab, dude. People don't care. You have not talked about your father or brother in years. Your foster mom? When's the last time you talked about her? This is just a sympathy grab for you. The reality is, what you really care about is that people are calling you out on your bullshit and your girlfriend's bullshit, and no one is buying it anymore. No one. You will not find a positive comment in Amber Lynn's chat. People don't buy it. And she can't handle that. She can't handle the fact that people have called her out so blatantly and so obviously, and she can't rebuttal it.
She ultimately changed my last 2 years of high school. She became a foster parent specifically for me and my brother. I loved her dearly. If it wasn't for her, I don't know, I graduated high school and I was able to experience college. Did I graduate? No. I ended up moving across the country and realizing criminal justice was not for me.
She went to this is the story, actually, because she's going to, whatever. She barely passed high school, which, no shame, but she likes to frame it as though she ended with a 3.8 or something. She said she ended with That's physically not possible, Amber. You cannot fail for 2 years, 3 years, and end with a 3.8. It is literally mathematically impossible to do that, okay? The highest you could have graduated with is somewhere in the 2s. But she says that she graduated with 3.8 at the end of high school, which doesn't make sense. Again, she acts like no one else has been to high school before and they don't know how the system works. She then got with Casey because she moved her big ass in. And her mom, Casey's mom, who was a single mother, they were not financially well off, who now had to feed another person who this mother didn't know, didn't care, didn't like, was like, you either go get a job or you go to school. And Amber Lynn was not going to go get a fucking job. So she went to school, and she, on Facebook, literally talked fucking shit about that parent every single day. Talked shit about her having to go to school. She did not want to have to do it, but she was forced if she wanted to have a roof over her head. She went to a nonprofit university. She did, I think, 2 semesters of university. But let's not even call it university, of college. Those are 2 different things. And again, I am not against for-profit. Well, I am against for-profits. I'm not against community college. I'm not against like anything. I think education is education. But Amber Lynn didn't take it seriously. And she claims and she presents it as though she went to this like amazing university for criminal justice and she was just this great student. And it's impossible. We see how your brain works. And again, you've exposed yourself. You literally said you were the most honest, I would say, about your story in the Crystal era. You said you were in special education. You do not learn well, that things go in and out and you don't process it. You don't like hold on to it. That you think it's because your parents did drugs while you were in utero. Like, you admitted this stuff. And so then to go on and act as though you're just this stellar student, which I'm not saying is impossible, but Amber Lynn was not putting in the work to make it possible. And that she's just this naturally like super intelligent human being. And then like she just went to college in like unfortunate circumstances. No, Amber, like you were never going to graduate. That was never going to happen. You were there because you didn't want to have to go and work. And you thought going to school would be easier.
I was majoring in. And then at that point, I was like, I don't really know what I'm passionate about. So I never went back to college. But regardless, that falls.
Yeah, because you were in hella debt. And you couldn't go and apply for more federal aid to another university. And to be honest, you wouldn't be able to get in a university that wasn't either a community college or a nonprofit. So, yeah, of course you weren't going to go back. It wasn't about you not having passion. You quite literally couldn't go back.
Foster dad literally changed my life. Like, I still remember in college, one of my first classes I took, we had to write a 10-page essay on someone we looked up to. A lot of people chose celebrities, not gonna lie. I chose her. Like, that's how much like she altered
you
my
guys
life.
Everyone else is so shallow. They chose celebrities, but I chose my foster mom. Babe, I have also been in the English 101 university class. We've also had to write things like that. People ain't choosing celebrities, okay? Like, she still, in this lie of a story, had to put herself as though she's different than everyone else. That she's, like, this, like, deep, emotional person. Everyone else, like, they just had amazing lives. They could just talk about celebrities. But I had a hard life. So I actually had someone meaningful to talk about. Like, shut the fuck up.
In a good and positive way. And those are just the things that I'm, like, willing to share that I'm currently going through. I don't want this Vlogmas to be depressing because I like to go back and look at old Vlogmases and to know that this one has been just, like, miserable for me. It's just hard to wrap my head around because like Christmas is my favorite time of year and
you've done nothing to do anything Christmassy related. You're sitting here yelling at us. You're sitting here like playing victim about a situation and situations that you got yourself in. Like, all you do is sit on the couch and yell at your audience. You are in control of your channel. You could sit there and go do Christmas things. You could go show us lights. You could make Christmas cookies. You could show us decorating the tree or decorating the house. You could be doing this stuff. But you're choosing to sit here and yell at your audience and try to guilt trip your audience. It's in your hands. No one else is in control of your channel but you, Amber. Get that through your head.
At all for me right now. I have to take the steps. Even if it's hard, doing things to improve my mental health. And one of them is no longer talking about Rarity.
Because I don't want to have to pretend to give a fuck. And I don't have to pretend that I'm going out and looking for her. I want to be able to just show you what I'm actually fucking doing, which is sitting at the kitchen table and building Legos and sitting on the couch and doing jack shit.
Constantly trying to like defend myself and prove myself. Like, I just can't do it anymore. I can't. And I hope that you guys, like, genuinely understand that.
Amber, no.
Again, I am sorry this Vlogmas has been depressing, but I am going through a lot right now. And that's definitely
everyone is going through a fucking lot, Amber. Oh my God. The height of privilege is Amber Lynn, who has no fucking responsibilities in her life, to sit here and go, I'm going through a lot. I don't doubt that you have shit going on in your personal life. Everyone has fucking shit going on in their personal life. People don't get to just call out from work or not go to school and just fucking fail and just sit on the couch and say, well, or come to school or work for 5 minutes a day and say, you know what? I'm just going through a lot. That's not how the world works, Amber. God, you are so privileged, dude. It is insane. You are so unrelatable.
And I hope that to change soon. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this.
You have to put the steps.
And I will see you in my next one. Bye.
Bye. What? You are the only one that can put in the steps to make it better. You are the only one that can make these vlogs better, to make your mental state better. Seek some help. Go to a fucking therapist. Leave Wisconsin. You have no reason to be in Wisconsin, Amber. And we have only seen you deteriorate in Wisconsin. Like, work on yourself a little bit instead of blaming people on the internet for your perpetual failure. You have been failing from day one, before anyone was having reaction channels on you, before people were calling you out on this shit. You were already failing. So what was your excuse then, Amber? Like, get a grip and grow the fuck up. Like, I don't know what else to say. This honestly is such a tragic Vlogmas. Y'all, that's all I have to say. Honestly, this is just such an annoying era. Like, I really need the Wisconsin era to be done. That's all I have for you guys. I hope your weekend was good. I hope you have a relaxing Sunday. You have a good start to your week. It goes easy. If you liked this, like and subscribe. I can't move my arm right now because Dimitri's on my arm. So, but if you like this, like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for your support. We're at like 600 subscribers now, which is wild. I really appreciate you all. And I will see you in the next video. All right. Bye. Oh, he moved my, oh, okay. He moved his hand. Okay, bye.